Movies and sports. Both are things that millions of people roll out in spades each and every year to go and watch. But what happens when we take those two things and we combine them together? Well, you get athlete cameos in movies. So in this video, I want to pick 10 of the best athlete cameos in movies across time and discuss them in greater detail to join in on the conversation and spark debate amongst all you fans out there. Which athlete has the best acting chops in all the land? Well, stick around to the very end to find out because it might surprise you. Without further ado, let's get started. Number 10, Shaquille O'Neal, Scary Movie 4. You know, Scary Movie 4 wasn't really all that great of a movie, but the fact that it opened with Shaquille O'Neal and Dr. Phil together just made it wonders for it. Combine that with the fact that Shaq just owns the fact that he cannot make free throws to save his or Dr. Phil's life, made it a whole lot better, and he was actually pretty convincing in doing so. Although he was only in it for a short time, he made me laugh, and for me, made the movie better. Number 9, the Green Bay Packers, Pitch Perfect 2. While watching the movie, as a Packer fan myself, I really enjoyed this piece of it, but it really did feel odd and out of place. Seeing Clay Matthews rip off his sleeves and showing off his ginormous biceps was a bit of a cool moment for the movie, and the fact that they did get down to some acapella in a very likable way, and add to it that the Green Bay Packers were actually having a good season at the time from what I remember. It made for a satisfying cameo that didn't feel all that terrible in the movie, but didn't exactly land perfectly either. And to boot, you'll notice a guy that kind of looks like Aaron Rodgers, but not quite in the background. Fun fact, that's actually Jordan Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers' brother. Now you know. Number 8, Lance Armstrong, Dodgeball. Not a lot of celebrity cameos typically make sense in movies like this, but Dodgeball really made it work with Lance Armstrong. Just when Peter's on the cusp of quitting on his team, Lance is there to provide him some guidance and get him back on the horse again. Even if his performance wasn't great, it was sarcastic and funny enough to get me to laugh a little bit, and it really helped move the story along to its logical conclusion. And heck, I even learned a little bit more about the guy in the process, so really, everybody wins. Number 7, Dan Marino, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. It's kind of strange, when revisiting this one, I actually had a pretty hard time with it. I didn't think Dan Marino's performance was particularly great, but he's in enough of the movie to be actually a substantial character. And the fact that he's one of the most talented quarterbacks in NFL history just made that a little bit more spicier when it came to the movie. I give him bonus points for having such a big part in the film, even if it wasn't all that great. Number 6, Reggie Jackson, Benchwarmers. Ha, you all thought I was going to say Naked Gun, weren't you? Well, there's a chance of that, but the problem is I've actually never seen Naked Gun, but I have seen Benchwarmers many times. It was one of my favorite movies of 2006, and Reggie Jackson was actually a pretty big part in that. He really played hard into the fact that he was an angry tuba-playing kid who has now transitioned that same state into an adult form. And I ended up laughing for hours when I see him take a baseball bat to some mailboxes on end and on end and on end. I could watch that scene probably 100 times over and just never get bored of it. And who are we kidding? After that, weren't you tempted to grab a baseball bat and hit some mailboxes? I'm just kidding. Don't do that. It hurts. Number 5, LeBron James, Trainwreck. Trainwreck, by and large, I thought was a pretty funny movie. Between Amy Schumer and John Cena, I actually really enjoyed it. But to my surprise, I even enjoyed LeBron James's performance in the movie in the couple scenes that he was in. In fact, I thought it actually made for some of the funniest parts of the movie between him and Amy Schumer. After seeing Space Jam 2, A New Legacy, I wouldn't consider LeBron James to be a great actor, but in Trainwreck, he really brought it and add something to the movie, which is not something a lot of actors or athletes can really say in the films that they participate in. He surprised me, and for that, I thank him. Number 4, Mike Tyson, The Hangover. For no other reason than he's got some of the most quotable lines in the entire film, Mike Tyson really made his presence known in The Hangover. Given the film's gritty nature, his cameo was very fitting, and to this day, my dad still quotes his famous line where he says, "Nice." For whatever reason, it just really resonated with me, and I found it to be really funny. And the fact that he owned a pet tiger was even more baller. Number 3, Michael Jordan, Space Jam. This has to be one of the most impressive cameos I've seen from athletes, considering that he's pretty much the lead actor throughout the entire film. And honestly, I didn't think his performance was all that bad. In fact, I thought it was quite good. He made probably one of the most classic films for my generation at that time, and it's still amongst the favorites for many basketball fans. Although it wasn't a groundbreaking film, Michael Jordan did good enough for it to be worth watching. Plus, it was really cool how they kind of interplayed it with his career ongoings at that time between baseball and basketball and the controversies surrounding it. All in all, it was a good time. Michael Jordan, good job. Number 2, J.J. Watt, Bad Moms. This is probably the most surprising cameo on this list, as a lot of you probably haven't seen Bad Moms or even knew J.J. Watt was in it. He plays this lovable, gentle, giant soccer coach who's really just trying to make it in the world, feed his cats, and fill his Prius. The best part about this performance is it was actually quite good, and it doesn't even seem like J.J. Watt's really trying all that hard. And I mean that in the best way possible. He just seems like he's being himself. It's very rare rare for an athlete to come across so naturally in his performances, and I thought JJ Watt really nailed it. Plus, he was in a couple scenes in this movie, and every one I thought he was really funny, and he really shined. And for that, I salute him. And finally, at number 1, the moment you've all been waiting for, Mike Ditka kicking and screaming. What can I say about this movie? It is one of my favorite Will Ferrell films, and Mike Ditka compliments it tremendously. He's in most of the film, and seeing that transition from him being a hardcore football coach to a soccer coach and helping out a dad is just absolutely hilarious. The banter between himself and Will Ferrell really made the movie just at a much more elevated level than I ever thought possible. All the times where he would blame Will Ferrell for smoking in his own house and get him and his wife in trouble was just absolutely gold. And the fact that he got Will Ferrell hooked on coffee throughout the entirety of the film just made the running joke so much better. He never failed to get me a laugh. He seemed to be put really well placed in the movie and made my experience with it a million times better. And for that, Mike Ditka, I salute you. And there we have it, friends. Those are the top 10 greatest athlete cameos in movies. Did any of these cameos on the list surprise you? Which ones did we leave out that you would put in? Or which ones would you switch around the ranking for? Whatever you think, feel free to jump down in the comments below and let us know. And if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching another video. If you like this and found it valuable, I'd be honored if you consider clicking the like button so people just like you are able to find it. Or if you like videos like these, feel free to click these end cards or the links down in the description below for more. This has been the Bankrupt Hippo YouTube channel. I've been Bryce, and until next time, have a great day.